Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with the SAW right here on Superlative Radio. As we said in our last episode, we're banging 2 out today, so this is our
Here's
second
number 2.
one.
Yep.
And we are going to be talking about episode 7, I believe. Is it 7? Of what? Yeah, 7 of What If. And it's What If Thor was an only child? So now you said you didn't get to see
I
this
didn't get
yet,
to see it, so no, I just
It-
like you. There's a lot of things.
A lot of
We're
things
busy
going
here
on,
at
yeah.
Superlative, so
So this episode, if you guys have seen it, is really good. It's basically the story of it is when Odin fought the frost giants, and instead of taking Loki Laufeyson as his own son back to Asgard, he instead returned him to the frost giants. And
Okay.
so they became allies that way. So Asgard and the frost giants became allies, and they didn't fight anymore. There was no fight after
okay,
that.
a little different.
So yeah, so what ended up happening is, and at one point during the episode, of course, because Tom Hiddleston's still doing Loki's voice, but he's Loki as a frost giant, right? So he's this giant guy over Thor, who's just this little guy, and he's like, "Oh, it isn't my favorite brother from another mother." So they actually use that in the.
That's cute.
It was funny because everywhere, so with Thor being an only child, instead of going off and fighting all these battles and whatever, what he's known for is going around the universe and partying on all these planets. He'll go to a planet and he'll throw a party, and he brings all these freaking people with him, and he throws a big party. So there's like him and the Warriors 3 and Lady Sif, and they'll go off wherever and they'll just throw a big party. And so he throws this one party in Las Vegas. And so he comes to Earth and throws a party. And of course, he brings the frost giants, and he just brings all these people. And so that's the whole premise of it, is he's just going around the universe throwing parties because he's more of a party animal instead of this big warrior. But he likes to fight. He still likes to fight. And now the funny thing is of course, so Frigga, who's Thor's mother, basically goes off on a vacation that she hasn't been on in like 1,000 years or whatever, and she's like, "Now you be good or whatever, don't get in any trouble or whatever." And then because Odin's gone into the Odin sleep, so instead Thor's like, "No, not me, I won't get in trouble." So of course off he goes to Earth and he throws a party, and of course that's where he meets Jane Foster and all that stuff. Anyway, so the episode goes through, and of course Shield shows up, and it's really funny. So when the Shield shows up to deal with everything, Shield is when Mariah Hill shows up to talk to Jane Foster, she's like, "I'm Mariah Hill, temporary acting director of Shield or whatever," and she's like, "Why are you the temporary?" And she's like, "Well," and then it goes to a scene where you see Nick Fury, and he strides up to like Thor, and he's like, "Okay, you need to blah blah blah," and then Loki comes running up out of nowhere and just slaps him aside, and he goes flying, and she's like, "Well, is he okay?" "Yeah, he's in the hospital. He's in critical condition, but we think he'll pull through." He just slaps him out of the way, right? So they kind of think that they're like anyway, it's
weird.
it's really
yeah.
funny.
I'm gonna have to watch it then.
It is really good. It's not like the others that you've seen where it like ends on this friggin' dark note. It's actually pretty funny.
Okay.
It's pretty entertaining. Of course, they call Captain Marvel at this point to come deal with all the aliens, and of course they pull out her beeper, right? And they summon her, and she comes to Earth, and her and Thor get into it. And while they're having their fight, it gets this one point where Thor, he smacks her with his hammer, and she goes flying, and it zooms out. You see her off into the sky, and then it zooms out, and you see USA, and it's like Las Vegas, USA, and then Atlantic Ocean, and then the UK, and she, boom, and she hits in the UK, and then you see Thor. He flies over, it lands in the UK, and they're in Stonehenge, in the middle of Stonehenge, and they're talking or whatever, and Thor's like, she's like, don't do that, don't do that. He pokes the stone. He just pokes one of the stones, and all the stones in Stonehenge fall like dominoes, and she gets pissed, and she cracks him, and then it goes, zooms out, UK, Atlantic Ocean,
God,
USA, Las Vegas, and Thor, whoop, bam, all right, and then she flies over, and they get in this big fight or whatever. comes to the point where eventually Jane Foster ends up calling out Heimdall's name, going to Asgard, telling Heimdall that she wants to talk to Frigga. He sends her to Frigga, and Frigga eventually says to Thor that she's on her way and he'd better not be doing any blah blah. He's like, "Oh no, mother, I'm just here and I'm taking a class in," what does he say? It's like alien study of Midgard or something or whatever. And of course, the whole time his party has expanded to the point where it's now all over the world. Like, and Coulson's like telling Mariah Hill how this party has expanded. It's in Canada, it's in Italy, it's in blah. And the next thing you know, he's on the that big bridge that you see in Sydney, Australia, with the opera house behind it.
Right.
He's on the bridge or whatever, and he's. That's when he finds out his mother's coming, and he's like trying to get So eventually what happens is when Frigga shows up, he's convinced everybody to pretend like they're doing a class. And even Captain Marvel, everybody's got everybody pretending they're doing this class. She goes off, so Frigga leaves or whatever, believes his little tale that he's managed to weave. And then just at the very end, when like everybody's finally gone or whatever, he looks over and he sees this thing open up or all these, I'm not sure if they teleport in or they come over they come through some kind of magical thing or a dimensional shift or whatever. And it looks like Ultron with the Infinity Stones embedded in his chest. 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones embedded in his chest. And an army of like Ultron androids or whatever behind him. And as he strolls in, then the faceplate opens up and it's Vision with the Mind Stone in his freaking head. He's got all 6 Infinity Stones, and Thor's like, "Oh." That's how it ends. But it's really good. It's
Sounds
really,
like
really
a
cool.
funny one.
It was really funny.
I'll watch it for sure.
It's really good. I really enjoyed it. And they got everybody to reprise their voices in it. I don't think there was anybody, except for Captain Marvel. Brie Larson didn't do Captain Marvel. Everybody else did. Like what's her face who played Frigga? Renee Russo did her voice. Like Lady Sif, the Warriors 3. Chris Hemsworth was Thor. Jane Foster was done by Natalie Portman. What's her face who was in WandaVision? Darcy Lewis.
Yeah.
Whoever played Darcy, it was her who did her voice. Mariah Hill was done by Colby Mulderson. Phil Coulson was done by.
So everybody was just.
Yeah, like everybody was
That's
done by their
good.
voices except Brie Larson. So it was it's probably the best one yet in that sense because everybody did the voices
Except for one. Because the others had at least 2 or 3. Yeah.
The only other one that didn't was the zombie one. It had everybody but Tom Holland.
Okay.
So I guess those are the only 2 that have had pretty much everybody reprise their roles except for. Yeah, I think pretty much.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so it was really cool, and it was really entertaining. It was quite funny.
Sounds good. I'm gonna have to. Like
Yeah,
I
it
said, I'll
was
have to
really
watch
good
it.
one. I enjoyed it. I really was like, oh man! And then Ultron, it's like Ultron. It's like Vision Ultron with all the Infinity Stones. I'm like, what the hell? Why are we not getting to see how this goes? But yeah, like you said in them before, they are always over too soon. You
Yeah,
just get
it's
into
right.
it and it's over.
And that happens every time.
And that's exactly what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, oh man, this is over too soon. But like, it was at one point just before Frigga shows up. Like Mariah Hill was gonna get what's his face? Who played the villain in Civil War? There, Crossbones.
Oh Jesus!
Anyway, that guy, who when he was still an agent of Shield, he's asking her, do I hit the button? Do I hit the button? Do I hit the button? She's just about to nuke them, like send nukes at them. Like that's how close it was before, of course. And he's like, but what about Captain Marvel? And she's like, oh, she'll be fine. He can nuke everybody. Well, she'll be okay, but like kill all the civilians, kill everybody else.
God.
She'll be fine. Yeah, but and then Frigga shows up and just basically she's like, okay, wait. She seems to have it under control, but yeah, it was really good. And I'd give this one a solid 9.
Wow.
Like right out of 10.
Okay.
It was awesome. I really loved it.
It
was great.
That says a lot.
Yeah, it was really good. Like, at one point, when Thor's fighting Captain Marvel, he throws his hammer at her, and she goes, and the hammer goes behind her, and she's continuing to yap at him, and Thor's just holding his hand out like this, not saying anything, and the hammer goes, whack, clips her right in the back of the head, comes back to his hand, and she's like, oh, because you see the hammer go, and it goes, zzz, flips around, goes, zing, right back, and clips her right in the back of the head, she just, dong. It's so
I have to watch that too then, yeah.
It was so awesome. Thor's just grinning the whole time holding his hand for the fucking hammer. Shit.
Well,
yeah, it was funny. Just ding. I love that. That's always like my favorite thing about his hammer. When he throws it, he's just holding his hand out, waiting for it to come back. Anytime he does that and it clips somebody, it's just so funny. It's like they don't know that it's going to come back to his hand.
That's good. I'm gonna have to. Good.
It was really funny.
Sounds like it was a good episode.
It was, and like I said, it was really neat because it shows them partying all over the world. There's just, and at one point, like Jane Foster's like, "Well, there was this whole supernova and whatever and blah blah blah. Did you cause that?" And he's like, "Well, yes, but no, not really." She's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, the party got a little out of hand or something. Like a supernova, or whatever, planet gets destroyed." Like it's completely bonkers, but it was really entertaining. I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
Okay.
I think you'll like it when you see it.
I'm sure I will.
I mean, but there's just too much. There's so much in it that's just funny and entertaining that it's hard to pick. In this one, it was really hard to pick a favorite spot for me. I had a real hard time picking one. But it's a toss-up probably between the hammer clipping her in the back of the head and Thor trying to convince his mother that he's partaking in some sort of a college class. And then when she shows up, he's basically got everybody sitting at desks, like, or her and him bashing each other across the Atlantic Ocean. Like, it's funny. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, it was entertaining. You'll have to watch. You do got to watch it.
I will.
Because like when we talk about the next one, I'm going to say, what did you think about it?
Yeah.
You got to be able to say, no, it was great.
Don't worry. I'll catch up. It's just things are a little hectic for me too.
You'll catch up?
I will. I'll catch up.
No mustard?
No relish.
Just there's that same bad joke. Yeah. But no, it was really good. But yeah, you guys have got to tell me what you thought of it. Because I think this was probably my favorite one so far.
Okay. Down below.
I don't think I said any others were my favorite so far. I don't think I said any of them were. I said they've all been good.
Yeah,
and
but
they've all been entertaining. But I think this one's been my favorite one so far.
Okay.
And it probably has a lot to do with just the atmosphere of it, the whole.
Like when the last one comes, that might end up being your favorite.
Yeah,
since it all.
It was pretty. It was pretty entertaining. It was pretty funny. Had a lot of fun watching it. So it was really neat to see them do something different with it. But again, like we said last time when I explained kind of how the multiverse theory works, it's interesting to see how they take these different routes with all the characters and how they've managed to go, oh, well, what if we did this with them instead? Or what if this had happened with them instead? Or what if that had happened with them instead?
Yep.
So it's a lot of fun. I really thought it was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, definitely comment below, guys. Let us know what you think of it because I'm just blown away by it. I thought it was awesome.
Okay.
And
good.
Like so many of these episodes, there's so much, you can tell there's so much creativity and there's so much talent behind the people doing them.
That's obvious.
The stuff that they're putting into them, like you can just see that they're really like, man, they're putting a lot of effort into them. They're putting a lot of thought into them. And it will be interesting to see how they culminate into
the final
whatever they're going to do, right? And of course, we know there's going to be a second season of it because there's supposed to be 30, I think there's like 29 or 30 episodes, and there's going to be 9 in season 1, so I think they're going to have 2 or 3 seasons for sure.
That's good then. At least we can look forward to that too.
So there will be more, just like we know there's going to be another season of Loki.
Yep.
Which is going to be cool. And we know there's going to be a Captain America 4 because we know that Anthony Mackie has signed on to do that. There's all kinds of really, cool stuff that's going to continue a lot of the storylines that they're starting to build with Phase 4. So I'm really excited about it. And
are they doing another WandaVision?
They haven't said.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a big rumor going around that they might kill Wanda in Doctor Strange.
Really?
Too.
Oh, okay.
I can't see them killing Wanda because they've just gotten her to the point where she is the actual Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
That she is in the comics, where she's actually at that power level. And I can't really see them killing her now after finally getting her to this point because they introduced her in 2015 in Age of Ultron. So in they spent the last 6 years building this character up that I can't see them just going, okay, we're done.
Yeah, kind of weird that way.
It doesn't make sense to me. But Captain America, his movie came out in 2011, his first one, and he was all done in 2019. So, I guess anything's possible.
Well, yeah, there's always...
his was only, 7, 8 years, I guess. His run was only 8 years. Robert Downey's was 11 years. 10 or 11 years.
Maybe.
So, you never know, but, they have them... Supposedly, when she renewed her contract, when Elizabeth Olsen renewed her contract, she renewed her contract for WandaVision, Doctor Strange, and I think there's supposed to be more appearances after that. So I can't see them killing her off. It's possible they will, and then maybe they'll bring her back, but I don't know why they do that. Especially after getting her to this point where her character's finally realized the potential that she has. I don't know. And I like Scarlet Witch. I wouldn't want them to kill her off. I like Wanda. I think she's a very interesting character. They've done her very well in the movies, so I don't know. Anything's possible, I guess.
Time will tell.
I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do with her in What If, because the only What If we've seen her in is the zombie one.
Yeah.
Right? Where Vision was keeping her alive by feeding her victims.
Yeah.
What a dick.
Hey.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how they go about it. I don't know.
All right. Well, there you go.
But I guess anything is possible. You can never really overlook anything. But there's so much that they can do with the multiverse stuff. And there's so much they can do with What If. So it'll be really interesting to see if they bring any of these things into it. Like I said in the last episode, I have heard that, Captain Carter is going to cross over from What If into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So, anything is possible with what they're going to do. You never know. But I have heard, as I believe I told you off air, that I read an article where someone had claimed to have a photo of Patrick Stewart on set for Doctor Strange 2, reprising his role as Professor X. And supposedly that's got to do something with Wanda as well. Okay. That's that connection.
Well, that's something to look forward to as well then.
Because in the comic books, Wanda is a mutant. She's the daughter of Magneto.
Yeah.
Right? So she's a mutant in the comic books. And they heavily implied in WandaVision, as you may remember, when Agatha was leading, or Agnes, sorry, not Agatha, when Agnes was leading her through her past,
right?
When her and her brother were under the bed and the missile, right, she said it was her that stopped it, not that it was a dud missile. They heavily imply that Wanda had powers all the way back then as a child, which would mean she's probably a mutant in the Marvel universe, and they've just never used the term mutant yet. Now, it is heavily stated, I think, in the X-Men or in the Marvel universe so far that all the Mind Stone did was unlock powers that were already inherent in Wanda and Pietro. it didn't give them powers. It unlocked their powers.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's sort of, and WandaVision expands on that with Agnes and her talk, but also like, because you notice when Wanda's looking, remember she sees all that Baron Strucker saw was they were watching her in the room and they saw her look at the stone and then fall over.
Yeah, that's right.
But she saw the big glow and she saw the image of the Scarlet Witch come towards her, and she saw the flash and all that stuff. I think that was what the stone was doing, was just basically at that point unlocking powers that she already had in her. So I think that's what they were implying all there. So I guess we'll see. But it'll be interesting to see if this in any way ties into that and how it does, and I don't know.
I guess time will tell too.
I'm super excited to see how they're going to do it, especially with Doctor Strange being in Spider-Man, because that's going to lead directly into that, and WandaVision is supposed to lead into, well, I told you that there's people think that they've recut the end of WandaVision, the post-credit scene where she's in the cabin.
Yeah.
That it looks like there's a silhouette of a figure that people are claiming is Doctor Strange in his astral form coming down to the cabin along the side of the mountain to talk to her. I don't know how true that is or if it is true, but I mean, what if allows for them to
pretty much do anything
they want. So, and depending on how Doctor Strange goes with the whole multiverse thing, maybe that's just going to open it up even more. Who knows? But it'll be interesting to see. But this episode was freaking awesome. It was so funny. It was entertaining. It was great to hear everybody doing their voices. Again, the animation is just down pat with making everybody look like their characters, and even the movements that they like, the way the actors move on screen. They even, like, if you notice, they even get the way they move on screen. They even convey that in the animated form.
It's probably just all how they, I don't know. They're good at it.
Like, it's phenomenal how they're doing it. And
don't forget to comment for us, too. We want to know what you think.
Yeah, definitely. And again, watch for... again, we're going to end Season 4 with the finale of What If. And as I said in the last episode, we're going to have other stuff to talk about. We're going to start with the Season 5, and we'll probably bang out a bunch of episodes all right away just to catch up on stuff.
We have a lot to catch up on.
Because we have a lot to catch up on stuff that we've missed, and I don't want to miss anything, not have it in our library of stuff that we've talked about. So we'll
5
figure
is going to
out.
be a big one when we start. So
yeah, it will be. But I hope you guys have liked it, and if you have, again, let us know below. Don't forget to check out superlativeradio.com because you can see past episodes there. You can check out our YouTube channels to see past episodes, but superlativeradio.com has everything all in one location. And you can even subscribe to our YouTube channels there. They're all right on our homepage. You can subscribe to all of our channels. You can get updates on everything. Everything that we're doing is on our website, and it's all there. It's just great to have it all in one spot so you can check it all out. But it would be nice if you guys would actually start to comment. I mean, come on. Some people are watching. I can see that some people are watching. Share it. Share it with your friends. Let them know. There's a lot, that we could do if we would get more people watching and more people commenting. And, if we can grow our channels, it opens us up to having so much more that we can do. So
come on. Help us out.
Give it some thought. And then next week when we do the next one, you'll get to hear his opinion on this one. Because unfortunately, Lazy Arse here didn't watch it.
No, just...
No, we have had a couple busy weeks, like I said in the last episode. We've been pretty busy. And even over the next week, it's going to be pretty hectic because I'm moving. So
yeah. And I've been doing radio stuff out the yin-yang. So it's been
So it's
quite
been
hectic.
rough. But let us know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out our other stuff on Superlative Radio. And if you've got a favorite part to this episode, what was it? Was it one of the things I mentioned? Because I thought they were really good. I'm going to try to show the parts that I really liked, so you'll see them here in the video behind. Hopefully you'll get to see the actual parts that I'm referring to. I'll be able to find them enough to divvy them up and put them up because they were funny. But I'll try to put everything up that I talked about. In the meantime, I guess we will catch you guys next week for another episode. So until then,
Stay healthy.